News report, the person riding passenger with Nook told police it was Nook's gun.
Oh,
and
hell
Nook
no.
told the police it belonged to the passenger.
Those niggas ain't right, God.
Hey, what the fuck them boys got going?
PGF NUK, one of Chicago's rising drillers, may have just ended his own career. The man behind the mask, identified as 22-year-old Virgil Gibson, has now been officially indicted by the feds. It's been 2 years since NUK dropped his hit song, gaining over 100 million views and instant style in the city.
Yeah.
With a co-sign from Lil Durk to being brought on stage by
That's like
100
100
million,
million. Ain't
shit.
number like 100 rap.
That's probably like 100 million shit. That's probably like 2 M's. Shit. Nah, that's probably, it all depends on what that shit hit in that month. That shit ain't hit no 100 M's in a month. But that shit still ran up, dude. That shit probably about a 50.
That shit hit 100.
He got some dog shit out that shit. That shit was a platinum song.
He
So
tricked it or something.
He ran
out
out
here doing crashing out.
that boy ran out.
NUK seemed like he could possibly be next
All
up from
chains and
Iraq,
shit would've been
but a
dead.
series of
swear I would've
arrests,
been invested in
along
that
with his
shit.
views
That
going
too.
down, would seemingly lead the rapper to crashing out. Back in August of 2023, NUK was arrested after a block with a switch was
That bad edge up little as hell.
I swear for the Lord, bro.
found on the floorboard of the car he was driving.
That's the rapper PGD
Bitch, I would've been
people right here.
cooking up.
I didn't know who he talking about.
According to a Chicago News article, police stopped the vehicle because the plate on the car had been flagged for impound after previously eluding police, meaning NUK was caught riding in a getaway vehicle. According to the news report, the person riding passenger with NUK told police it was NUK's gun.
Oh,
and
hell
NUK told
no.
the police it belonged to the passenger.
Those niggas ain't right, God.
Hey, what the fuck them boys got going, man? Ain't no way these niggas tell it like that before they even got down.
But neither one of them wanted to take the
Them
charge,
niggas ain't right.
and according to the article, they told on each other to police.
Them boys ain't
NUK
right.
would be arrested, later freed on pretrial release, and 8 months later, arrested for double carjacking plus kidnapping. On April 7, 2024, federal prosecutors alleged NUK carjacked 2 people within 30 minutes.
This nigga got
The
this
first
shit
attack was-
carjacking. What the
That's
fuck?
little nigga shit.
What? I would've got down dropped on some shit with that goddamn hit
On the
money.
south side of Chicago, at a gas station in the 5900 block of South Morgan Street
Gas,
in
4 hours
Inglewood.
out that bitch.
It's alleged that NUK,
That shit
armed with a
foul,
handgun,
475.
took a 32-year-old man's Chevy Malibu at gunpoint. 30 minutes later, NUK arrived at a gas station in the 8300 block of South Cottage Grove, driving the man's Chevy Malibu. NUK allegedly got out of the stolen car, opened the door to another man's Kia Optima, and forced him into the passenger seat at gunpoint. The 35-year-old victim was forced to transfer money from his bank account, remove some of his
This same
clothes,
shit.
and then get out of
He's
the
just so
car.
having to touch
Covert
the paper,
Chicago
he
police later spotted the
Blue and
hijacked
cat,
Kia
what's the
in the
Bluetooth?
1600 block of West 55th Street, while PGF NUK was found hiding in the janitor's closet
That nigga
of a
probably,
nearby
he probably
phone
cut up
store.
though if he ain't get
He'd be
locked up.
found wearing the
Probably
same
where he
clothes as
from.
the hijacker that would
Yeah,
later
that
be
too.
seen
I think they got
on
that.
surveillance video. NUK could be charged with
Wait,
2
that
counts
nigga-
of vehicular hijacking with a firearm, armed aggravated kidnapping, and aggravated unlawful restraint.
Yeah, this
But the
nigga
biggest
retarded.
blow would be when the feds announced the indictment.
Man.
On Tuesday, July 16th, a federal grand jury indicted NUK on 2 counts of carjacking, 3 counts of brandishing a firearm during a crime of violence, and 1 count of robbery and kidnapping. The charges in the indictment carry a maximum sentence of
nigga
life in
street
federal
crash.
prison. As everyone pretty much knows, when the feds become involved, it isn't a matter of if you're going to prison, but how long you're going for.
Man, I remember in this vid when they was shooting this vid, goddamn dude, girl, Polo chain.
For real.
he
forgot.
he touched it, Polo Street, grabbed it like, I said like, chill out, little bro, like, we ain't that cool.
Let's not forget that at the time of the broad day carjackings, NUK was still on pre-trial release for his state gun case when he was caught with a switch. At this time,
How
He
the fuck
hasn't
he
been
beat that
federally
shit?
charged with the switch, even though his charges would appear to state 3 counts of violent crime / drugs / machine guns. Within the indictment, it clarifies he has 3 counts of brandishing the weapon during a crime of violence. PGF NUK is currently being held in the Cook County Jail within the infamous Division 9. This would be home to the max custody inmates with the most violent cases in
All they do
Chicago.
is thump and poke
NUK's
shit in there
Instagram
all
would be
day.
flooded with
Bullshit.
comments about him being a crash dummy and ruining whatever was left of his career. It's hard to imagine this playing out in any way other than bad, as the amount of evidence is overwhelming. Not only were the crimes captured on video, he was arrested wearing the same clothes as the person committing the crimes on video. He was arrested nearby one of the stolen vehicles, and he had one of the victims wire him money to an account, possibly his own account, because if he's desperate enough to contact in broad daylight, he might be dumb enough to send money to himself.
Yeah, that's
Federal
dumbest shit you
documents
can
would
do.
state NUK does have a lawyer, but what's the fucking point with all the shit that's against you? All she's doing is overseeing the plea deal he's about to take, because trial would end with a life sentence, and NUK really has nothing to bargain with, meaning whatever the feds offer him is most likely what he's gonna have to take.
Boy,
At 22 years young, it's likely NUK won't be seen again until he's well into his 30s. It's highly unlikely he'll be let out on pretrial release, knowing he's still pending a gun case in the state's courts. See, this is the hardest part of living the lifestyle. NUK quickly became the biggest name in his circle. Money started coming in, shows were getting booked, interviews were being done. NUK saw the rise, but he couldn't predict the fall.
The future is not
that
just gonna
boy
happen.
crashed the fuck
You
out.
have to make it. And if you want a success,
They ain't sending
I
him
mean,
nothing
he
less
had-
than 10, dude. Them charges he looking at.
Had so many switches in his first video that they weren't even as impressive in the next 20 songs. He was left in the shadow of his only hit, his fan base would slowly turn, and now he's left to see who around him was actually rocking with him. NUK can be seen with his mom, who's clearly an OG GD or an OG gangster disciple.
That's why that young nigga
The
was
son
off
of
the
a
porch like
gangster,
that.
NUK would describe in an interview how his own mom shot back at his ops after his house was shot up.
There was a point where my mama had
Wow.
to shoot. You feel me? Like, I want that.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's why he off the porch like that,
So my crib, I shoot the house up. Tell her mama had to, so I shoot.
Yo,
The
Dukes in
next was
the
to stay in
field.
her
What?
crib. Type
That shit had me in the field
That's
too,
the type
though.
shit that made me go hard.
Yeah,
in
no,
the
ain't
streets.
nothing about having my damn
Some could
dude.
say NUK was doomed from the
I'm
start,
talking about this
being
shit.
raised into the gangbanging world of Chicago, while others could say he had a head start in the streets. Being that he's young and hasn't been to prison, his next move will have to be his best. One of the biggest mistakes for first time
That might be good for that nigga, though. That nigga ain't
What?
never been locked up.
Oh shit, they still getting
Or,
a 10.
or I guess he
I know a
can.
nigga that ain't never been locked up or ever caught a charge. They got a dub.
For real, oh yeah, he catching more
He
than
gonna get at least 10.
is to not accept a plea deal. While it sounds easy, actually living through the experience of signing your name on a piece of paper, knowing you're signing away years of your life to be spent in prison, it's easier said than done. But not signing results in trial and a harsher punishment. Meaning NUK could be offered 10 years, deny it, be found guilty at trial, and sentenced to life because in his mind, he hoped his lawyer could find him a way home. With over 90% of federal cases ending in a plea deal, it can be expected within the next 6 to 12 months, NUK will sign his fate and the case will end. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out.
That nigga need
Now I'm
dirt
not gonna
lawyer,
lie,
goddamn it.
when What Up dropped, that was my